Welcome back to Where on Earth. Every cup of coffee you have ever drunk came from a narrow band of land wrapped around the equator. Every bar of chocolate you have ever eaten depends on an even tighter belt of tropical climate. Some of history's most valuable spices once grew on only a handful of islands. Your breakfast has always been ruled by geography. Start with coffee. Nearly every major coffee-producing country lies within a zone often called the Bean Belt, stretching across tropical and subtropical latitudes. Brazil, Colombia, Ethiopia, Vietnam, and Indonesia all sit inside it. Not by coincidence, by climate. Coffee plants need specific temperatures, reliable rainfall, fertile soils, and little or no frost. They are sensitive crops. Outside the right band of latitude and elevation, yields fall or plants fail entirely. The map of coffee is really a map of temperature and rainfall. Yet, latitude alone is not enough. Altitude matters too. In Colombia and Ethiopia, mountain slopes provide cooler air that slows fruit ripening and helps develop complex flavors. In Brazil, high plateaus create suitable conditions at larger scale. Geography decides not only where coffee grows, but how it tastes. Then there is chocolate. Cacao trees are even more demanding. They thrive close to the equator in warm, humid conditions, with shade and steady moisture. Today, much of the world's cacao comes from West Africa, especially Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. Europe consumes vast quantities of chocolate, but climate means the raw crop must come largely from elsewhere. Long before modern trade, civilizations in Central America understood cacao's value. It served ceremonial, cultural, and economic roles. Later, European demand transformed it into a global commodity. But the tree still obeyed the same geography. Now to spices. For centuries, nutmeg and cloves were so geographically concentrated that control of tiny islands in Indonesia became a global obsession. Ships crossed oceans, empires fought wars, and fortunes were made because a few volcanic islands had the right soil, rainfall, and tropical conditions. Sometimes world history turns on the habitat of a tree. This story is not over. Climate change is shifting the geography of crops. Rising temperatures threaten traditional coffee zones. Farmers in some regions are moving uphill in search of cooler air. Cacao regions face changing rainfall and heat stress. The belts that shaped centuries of trade may now be moving. Food prices, rural livelihoods, and global supply chains all depend on these narrow environmental windows. We often think markets decide what appears on shelves. But first, geography decides what can be grown at all. Coffee, chocolate, and spices help drive exploration, empire, and modern consumption. They still depend on temperature, water, soil, and latitude. The geography of your morning cup may be more important than you think. Subscribe to Where on Earth for weekly geography that reveals the forces behind everyday life. Because the world looks very different when you understand the geography behind your breakfast.